Oh, hi there. Are you aware of my business? I talk about it a lot on socials. No, I don't talk to people about it. No, I like a lot of time in Canva. Canva's great. Love it. Love making things in Canva. And I post a lot on all the social platforms. Are you aware? Are you aware?
Welcome to Inner Business, the podcast that delves deep into the soul of entrepreneurship. My name is Selena Woodward, seasoned business owner, qualified business coach, and intuitive guide. I'm going to offer you actionable steps to increase your revenue whilst we explore how you are showing up in your business. Let's explore the blocks and connect the dots on your journey to business fulfillment.
If you are pumping it hard on social media and you've got a few posts going out a week and you're still not getting sales, then I want us to talk about the awareness element of your sales funnel. Last week, I was standing around in the garden with a watering can, a paper funnel, a pair of scissors, some ping pong balls, and I taught you about the 4 stages of a sales funnel. You can watch that video by clicking the link in the description below, but it's definitely worth checking out. The 4 stages that we talked about in your sales funnel are here. We start with awareness, we move to interest, then we go down to decision, and then we ask for our customers to take action. And it's only when we get to the very bottom of this funnel that we actually see a sale. And last week we talked a lot about all the different strategies and systems that you might need in this funnel, using a watering can and some paper. It was very fun. And this week I want to take the first part of your sales funnel, awareness, and really dig deep. And I want to do it in a very biz coach Selena way. So as you've come to expect, we are going to explore the awareness element of your sales funnel through 2 lenses. First of all, we're going to look at this strategically, and we're going to talk about where we can get awareness from. And then secondly, we're going to talk about this from a self-awareness perspective. We're going to talk about what might be showing up for you that is blocking awareness and stopping people from seeing you. On the strategy side, the awareness is the very top of your funnel. It's the one that needs to be the biggest number, which is why we track things like how many likes, follows, comments we might have on social media, if that's one of our channels. We talked about last week having multiple channels coming in to the top of your funnel. But we need to make sure that the message that we are sending in awareness aligns back to our customer's problem and need. And if you're not sure what it is that you do for your customers and how you help them, then you really want to come talk to me, selenawoodward.com/book, because I can help you. So my first question to you as your business coach is how? How are you choosing to show up in the awareness section of your business funnel? And how many different ways do you have to get people to see you and what you do? So if I have awareness at the top of my funnel, how many streams or channels can you think of that would help you fill up the top of your funnel, knowing that as we move down the funnel, we're going to lose some people. They're going to get stuck, and that's okay. And obviously, the better we are at knowing who our customer is and what they need and how we can help them, the more people we will get to go from the top all the way down and make a sale. Most people that I work with focus on social media as one of their main channels. So they are working on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter or X, and they are pushing it into the awareness funnel. And that's great. That's one method, but there are other methods as well. For example, do you go along to any local business networks and see if you can find links there? If your customer is somebody who would hang out at a business network meeting, then that is where you need to be. Do you need to talk on stages or in podcasts so that people can hear what you have to say and you build your authority as a leader and a thought leader in that space. This is another way in which you can build partnerships and awareness. That's the fourth one, partnerships. Do you work with other businesses to share your products and services with them? So if you're a colonics business, can you partner with the local GP and cross-promote each other? What are ways in which you can bring awareness to your brand? So if I was to give you a checklist of all the social medias, which one would you tick and why? Because everybody loves to use social media as a channel, but I want to make sure that we're not doing it because we think we should be doing it, but because it's the most appropriate place to show up, because that's where our audience is, and it's getting us results. Who is your customer and where do they hang out? Because the answers to those two questions are going to tell you what channels you need to work with to build the awareness in your business. And of course, having a great brand script and knowing exactly who your customer is, what their problem is through 3 lenses, internal, external, and philosophical, and being crystal clear on how you show up as the guide on the side and turn your customer into the hero who needs help. All of that really helps you to make sure you're making the right decisions at the awareness phase of your sales funnel. If that's something that you would love to talk to me about, you can head to selenawoodward.com/book right now, and we can talk for 15 minutes about just that. I love nothing more than helping you clarify that. Now, as I've been building my new business coaching business over the last 12 months, I have been doing experiments in the awareness phase of my funnel. So here's what I've been doing. I have been posting to pretty much all the places because my customers show up in all of those places. Some of them use Instagram in their business, some of them use Facebook, some of them use LinkedIn, some of them use YouTube. I also started this podcast because I wanted to be able to share what I do and reach more people. And over the last 6 months, I have been tracking the numbers on every single channel, and I have found out something really interesting. Of all the channels that I show up on, there are 2 outliers that seem to bring me beautiful clients and customers just like you. They are LinkedIn and YouTube. Isn't that interesting? How do I know this? Well, I've been posting content across all of the channels and I've been watching the numbers. So for example, this podcast goes live on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, on lots of different platforms. When I look at my stats for the podcast on Spotify, I think I hit 150 listens about 2 weeks ago. 150 people tuning in on Spotify. When I look at YouTube, I just hit 17,000 views. So you tell me, where are you, audience? You're here on YouTube. And so I now get to make the choice to double down my efforts in this channel and see what happens. I know that at least 2 or 3 of my clients in the last few weeks have come from this podcast. They have looked on the Hire a Coach website, which is one of my partnerships, Business Made Simple. They found my profile, they've gone to my website, and at the top, of course, is the podcast playing. And that has helped them to get to know me, my services, and help them to keep moving through the funnel until they become one of my beautiful clients, and I get to walk beside them on their journey to fulfilling their business dreams, which is my favorite thing to do. So I want you to ask the question, are you counting how many people are liking, following, and moving through your social media? Next week, we're going to talk about how to convert them down to the interest phase once they're there. But where are your customers currently showing up, interacting, and getting to know about you? I just mentioned a partnership there with Business Made Simple. I've mentioned YouTube, which is a social media channel. One of the other things that I noticed about myself was how I was showing up. even though I love talking and I love being around people, I noticed that I wasn't actually going out into the community to business meetings, to conferences, and connecting with other humans. I seem to have got stuck here at my desk in the studio making social media posts. And it got me thinking. In the awareness part of my funnel, I had some blocks that I needed to overcome. I've got all the systems in my funnel ready to go, but I need multiple channels coming into the top of that funnel to make sure that the energy flows all the way through and turns into a decision, that turns into action, that turns into revenue, which gives me the green energy of money so I can invest back out there in other people's businesses, and the cycle continues. So much fun. So here's the work that I've been doing. I've been adding more channels. So I've joined a network meeting. I'll be going to that so I can swap stories and I can get to know other businesses who will need my services and who may have services that I can use too. I will find more partnerships in that space. I'm also going to be appearing in some conferences, doing keynotes and talks in real places with real people. Freedom Effect is running their beautiful conference. I'm on the bill for that, and many more to come, I'm sure. And I've reached out to several podcasters and YouTubers to see if I can guest on their podcast, because it's time for me to increase the awareness at the top of the funnel. But there were things that were stopping me from doing that. And so I want you to take a moment now to consider, what are the things you're doing in the awareness stage of your funnel? Where are the gaps? What could you build in? And what is stopping you? Now, there have been 4 different things that have frequently come up over and over and over again in this stage of the funnel that I'd like to share with you. Let's see if any of these resonate. And then I want you to go away and journal on what comes up for you. So if you're not driving right now, feel free to close your eyes. We're going to take a deep breath and we're going to hear a little story. And I want to see if any of this resonates with you. Comment below if you want to at the end. Let me know what this reveals to you, what this got you thinking about. Are you ready? Take a deep breath in. Let's do that one more time and make sure that we really feel the diaphragm. And exhale completely. That's better. Okay, let's go inwards. Knowing that awareness is about attracting your ideal customer. It's about making sure people see you, your brand, and what you do. And it's the part that they need to become aware of, because it's what's going to spark their curiosity or their interest. You want people to become aware of you, your brand, and your services. What's coming up? Are you already feeling a bit twitchy? Ooh. Is there a block here in your funnel? There might not be. That's great, but let's go deep. Let's see. Right, scenario 1. Do you spend hours and hours on Canva making beautiful social posts and chucking them out there, but no time at all checking how they're landing, how they're being received, how much interaction there is on those posts? Are you a little like my year 9s? Now, I used to be an English teacher back in the day. And really back in the day, we used to take them to the computer room, that's how long ago, to make PowerPoint presentations for speaking and listening. It was a complete waste of time. It was the perfect thing to do during report writing, because the kids would spend hours in PowerPoint choosing the perfect font and the perfect color, and not really doing the thing I was assessing, which is the speaking and listening. They were so busy trying to get the PowerPoint to look great that they wasted hours and hours and hours. All I needed to do was hear them talk passionately and share their views. It was really interesting. So has Canva become a thing that you use to procrastinate with? Just check in with yourself, whatever tool you're using, to
create your socials. Don't be stuck in the shiny object syndrome and be hyper-focused on creating a certain type of social media if you haven't tested it yet. Be focused instead on collecting fans and future clients. Do you notice that in yourself? Do you spend lots of time there instead of with people? Or checking to see if you are meeting your goals? Scenario 2 is avoidance. You know you need to show up, and you know that people need to know about you if they're going to buy from you. That's fairly obvious. You want to help them. You've got the solution. You are the guide, and you know how to guide them through their problem and help them come out the other side transformed. That's what you do. You're amazing. You're amazing. That's what you do. You need people to know about you. They deserve to know about you because they need you. You listening? Are you avoiding that? Is there something in you that stops you being able to stand up and say, I got you. I get this. Trust me. Do you believe that you got this? Do you believe that you get this? Do you believe they can trust you? Ooh. If something's coming up for you there, please journal away on that. Imposter syndrome is a thing. You are powerful. You are here with a purpose-driven soul. You can help them. Trust yourself. Otherwise, they won't trust you. First step is to tell them to trust you, to show them that you can do this, but you have to believe it first. Are you avoiding showing up because you're afraid of something? Are you afraid that they'll work out you don't really know what you're doing? Is that true? Amy Porterfield once said to us in a Digital Course Academy session that you literally need to know 10% more than your client in order to help them. If you are 10% ahead of where they are at, you have amazing value to them. And honestly, in some ways, being closer to their problem rather than being further away can even be even more beneficial because you remember very deeply what it feels like to be where they are. And you have exactly the right amount of steps in your recent memory to help them move forward. That's you. Do you believe in yourself, or are you avoiding showing up? Really ask yourself that. Scenario 3 kind of has two parts to it, and I've called it perfectionism, but I think it might be more than that. You tell me in the comments below. Perfectionism is about trying to show up in a way that meets somebody's expectations. And you'll probably tell yourself it's the expectations of your clients and your customer. But I bet you haven't asked them what their expectations are. And I imagine that this idea of perfection or perfect actually comes from your lived experience, and potentially there's a voice in your head that's quite critical and likes to pick holes in things. Does that resonate with anyone? Give me a like if that resonates with you. You need to be aware of that little voice. I used to have that little voice in my head. Very sneaky and very distracting. Burns a lot of energy ignoring it, telling it to go away, until eventually I integrated it. And now it's not there anymore. It just doesn't need to show up. Perfectionism is one of the hardest things to battle through, and it is really important that you make space for whatever part of you is showing up that is so critical of what you're doing and is stopping you from taking action, because imperfect action is better than no action. In fact, you are here to show up and learn, which means, my friend, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail loads of times. That's part of the journey. It actually turns out to be quite fun once you allow it to be so. Honestly. And sometimes my perfectionist mind would use ideas as a way to stop me from even getting to that discomfort. So this is the part B. Do you have a mind that's got all these great ideas about what you should do, and so you get really overwhelmed? Even if you write them all down, you get really overwhelmed and you freeze because now you're just stuck
and you're like, I don't know where to start. Because not starting is better than not being perfect. These are all really common things that I hear and witness and hold space for here as I coach clients through their funnel. This is what I love about what I do. It's not just about the strategy. It's about what's coming up for you as we implement this strategy. Why can't you turn up at a network meeting? So many of my clients really resist going business networking. It makes them feel, what do they say, icky, judged. What's that about? Is it the wrong network? Or is there something else going on? I really want you to take some time today to journal on this idea of awareness. And if you would like some prompts to help you do that, I want you to head to selenawoodward.com/024. I've made a little piece of paper for you with the same questions I've just asked here on it. Download it and use that as this week's reflection task on your business. How are you showing up in the top of your funnel? Can you think of other channels, other watering cans that you can add to the top to build more awareness and grow your audience? Are you watching the stats and the KPIs to make sure that you do have your voice in the right places and that people are seeing it? And what's coming up for you as I ask you to expand your reach or begin your reach into this awareness phase? Please, as always, feel free to comment below or reach out to me, selenawoodward.com/book. I am happy to have a conversation with you about what's coming up for you as you listen. Next week, we're going to move into interest and we're going to talk about what comes up when we ask the client that we've just, shown, hi, here I am, all about us, to learn more, to get curious, and to find out what we do and how we can help them. There are lots more interesting blocks here and some great strategies that I can share with you. So make sure you hit like and subscribe to never miss another episode again. And I will see you this time next week to dive into the interesting things that happen in the interest phase. Take care, my friends.